Hey guys, so I got a little different perspective here, just chilling in my car, and I just had this idea that I want to talk about. And it's about the fact that there are certain kinds of conversations you see on the internet, which are so out of touch with reality because it's just not the way that most people think. And what I'm talking about is something that I saw on Reddit. It was basically the Reddit sub of my city, and the conversation was about how people were making a certain kind of income, and the question was about how people were able to survive. So pretty much, I don't remember the exact figure, but guys were saying, like, how do you survive in Vancouver making less than six figures? And a lot of what I saw in the comments were about how they were essentially just living frugally. So they were cutting on all their expenses. They never go out to eat or rarely go out to eat. They optimize in the way they shop for clothes. They optimize in the way they get gas. They don't go on any kinds of vacations. The only kind of vacations they go on are basically they'll drive out maybe 6, 7 hours one direction and they'll see some national park or go camping. Very basic kind of lifestyle. So they talk about the fact that, well, if you budget properly, then you'll be able to survive here. And then you'll see a lot of comments scoffing at other people who complain about how difficult it is to live here, basically saying, oh, well, if you're not ordering Uber Eats all the time, you'll be able to live here very easily. And then you'll see some comments where people talk about the fact that, oh, well, I don't really like the standard of living that I currently have. I want to be able to make more money. I don't think that making six figures in this city is enough. I think you're going to need to make, or I shouldn't say six figure. I don't think making 100K is enough. I think you should be able to, you should be making a bit more than that in order to actually have a quality of life that is decent. And then you start to see a lot of the comments on the internet saying, oh, well, like, you just don't know how to save money. You're just probably spending it all on eating out all the time. And if you don't spend your money on McDonald's, living here is fine. And then you also see some other comments saying, well, this is the price you have to pay for living in such a nice city. And it was always so weird because that wasn't the first time I've seen conversations like that. Like, I see it all the time on the internet where somebody will mention that they want to make 100K or more, and then you'll see a bunch of these rabid beasts just pile on this person saying that they're just um a very, very loose spender. They're very liberal with how they spend. They're not financially literate. And, if you don't live life like I do, me, the frugal guy who doesn't spend money on anything other than the basic amenities, if you're not like me, then you're basically just a loser who doesn't know how to save money. And I just don't understand where these people get this kind of mentality. It's just like, if you want to live life where you don't do anything exciting, all you do is save money just for the sake of saving money, just so that you can say that you've actually survived here, then that's kind of your own prerogative. But if other people want to say, hey, I want to be able to do more, I want to make more money, I want to be able to put more savings in my bank account, I want to be able to invest in different things, I want to make more money because this will improve the quality of living that I have. I don't want to be renting in somebody's basement. I don't want to be renting some expensive apartment, paying all the strata fee for nothing. I want to be able to put a down payment on a home. I want to be able to actually own the place that I'm living in. And I want to be able to pay it off and have it as my own asset. I want to be able to save more money, make more money so I can go on nice international vacation every couple years. I want to be able to afford the hobbies that I have. I want to be able to live a certain kind of lifestyle that I envisioned. I don't understand why that's an issue. I don't understand, or I guess I do kind of understand. I see it as these sorts of people they've already given up on their own lives. They don't think that they'll be capable of actually increasing or improving the quality of life that they currently have. And so whenever they see somebody else demand or ask for something more, then they kind of see that as an attack on their own personal lives. Because there's no other reason why you would see somebody else saying that, oh, I don't actually enjoy the current life that I'm living, and see that as a negative. You should be able to see somebody who says they want to strive for more, and you should be encouraging them. Say, hey, I'm in this kind of predicament, but hey, good on you for wanting more out of your own life. It's never that kind of encouragement. And I think the mentality where you put others down is is just it's the reason why things are so bad in the first place. Because if you think about it, whenever something stupid happens and you look to yourself and say, hey, like, this is so wrong. Why is there no public outrage about this? How is it that we're just accepting that this is the way it is? It's because of people like them. You're thinking that the most unjust kind of policies that are in effect in the place that you live, you're wondering why people aren't outraged about it, is because there's all these crabs in a bucket, complacent mentality kind of people. I have much stronger words I have to say for them, but we'll save that. But it's these types of people, they just like taking it up the ass, honestly. Anything bad that happens, they're just like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's just the way it is. Life is always going to be difficult, there's always going to be new challenges, there's always going to be hardships. We live in a very nice part of the world, so yeah, it's just it's okay. These sorts of things just happen. Tax increases, oh, these sorts of things just happen. Terrible infrastructures, oh, these sort of things just happen. More expensive housing. Oh, these sort of things just happen. These mobile homes that get built. Oh, these sort of things just happen. It's always excuses, excuses, excuses. Never a moment where you look back and say, over the past 10 years, we've incrementally been having terrible policy after terrible policy. Quality of life has been going down. No, they never think that way. They think, oh, well, this is amazing. We got a new bridge. Wow, it looks so cool. We got a new bridge. That's amazing. Okay. Is your life better because of a new bridge? Probably not. I mean, it is nice that we got a new bridge, but there are other things that have been affecting your life directly that have been making it worse. How come you don't want to address those? Is it because addressing those means that you would have to actually take accountability for the fact that you haven't been thinking about it? Does it mean addressing those things means that you have to be aware of it and you have to actually think about the fact that there might be a solution which requires you getting off your ass and doing something about it? I don't know. I just think that there's too much of this going on in this world, too much of this happening on an individual level within the community. And yeah, if you're wondering why things aren't improving, that's basically the reason why. And I say to all of you who want more, if you're living in an expensive city, you're like, okay, well, back then I thought making 80K was a lot of money. I make 80K and I'm feeling like I'm making 40K. So I need to make more. And then you got all these idiots saying, oh no, you don't need to make more. You need to be like me. you need to find a better place to rent, and you need to shop at this place, and you need to blah blah blah. No, 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 no. Don't listen to these people. These people don't understand anything. Life is going to get more and more expensive. It's not going to get cheaper. It's going to get more expensive. So if you aim high, then at the very least, you'll be able to have a better cushion than these people who are living on the low low. They're living on the low low. They're managing it, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck. You know what's going to happen in 20, 30, 40 years? They're going to reach retirement age, and then they're going to wish that they had dreams. They're going to wish that they actually desired more out of their lives in their prime years, because they're going to be working till they're 75 years old, working at Home Depot with a part-time job. They're going to be getting their measly pension, if we even have a pension by then. And they're going to be living in what's called affordable housing, but is just not affordable at all. They're not going to have any kids to support them. They're just going to have maybe their spouse if they're still alive, or if they're actually even have a spouse. Maybe they're just single at an elderly age. Who knows what's going to happen? Things are going to be progressing in a very strange direction in the next few decades. So, what you're going to want to do is be in a position in your life where you don't have to worry. I want to talk about this more in depth in another video, but you got to think about securing your own future. You got to have security and ease of mind going into your older years. When you're in your 20s and your 30s, that's the time where you really want to think about how you can actually survive later on. You're going to have to do the math. You're going to have to actually do the calculations and figure out what is the exact number I need in order to retire when I'm 65. You're going to have to do it. If you haven't done it already, sit down and do it. It's going to be a very humbling experience when you actually have to look at the physical number you need to reach, and then look at the actual annual income that you have, and then do the math and figure out, well, how the heck am I going to reach that number now? Because if you don't do it now, you're going to be doing it when you're 60.